We discussed Michelle from Mouse and Muggle's recent trip to Universal Orlando on episode 326 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everyone, I'm your host Lee, and joining me for this episode is my good lady wife Tracy.
Hello!
Mr. Christopher.
Hello.
And of course, our good friend from Mouse and Muggle, returning again this week, is Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hello.
And Darren's not here, because we didn't reference him on the last one,
No,
but Michelle
right.
was hosting
Sorry,
this,
Darren.
so we'll let her off on that one, that's fine.
Yeah.
Darren is serving his country. No, he's not gone to war, he's doing jury service.
Yeah, sorry, Darren, I didn't mention you. I didn't know I was actually hosting that show, so I was a little bit thrown off on that.
Yep, you got lead.
Hopefully
That's
Darren
fine.
does not get sick and he'll be back.
We didn't mention
Yeah.
Chris the last time he was missing either.
No, we're terrible.
Apparently I was in Jamaica for a month.
Nice.
Jamaica, no, she went of her own accord.
Oh, old ones are the best.
Right, Michelle, as we said there, you have recently visited Universal Orlando, so you're going to talk about it and make me extremely jealous.
Mm-hmm.
No jealousy allowed.
When did you go? Oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't guarantee you that. When did you go first off?
So we were there. We take an annual girls' Halloween Horror Nights trip, and we were there this year, October 10th through the 14th. So a Wednesday, and then we came back on a Sunday.
Right. Which was primarily for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, primarily for Halloween Horror Nights. And this whole trip started because of my obsession with Halloween Horror Nights. But I have a small child who doesn't want to do the event, obviously, but an older child who does. So I bring along a friend. Her name is Maddie, and she's wonderful, but also scared of Halloween Horror Nights. So it works perfectly. She comes along, and she stays with the little one while my older one and I enjoy the parks at night. So
Ideal.
They're good friends to have.
yeah, it's a beautiful friendship for sure. This is the third year in a row that we've done this.
Awesome.
Yeah. But, when you reached out to me afterwards and asked me a few questions, I had too much to say. So I was like, why don't we do a trip report? Because I experienced a lot of, even as a travel agent who owns a Universal focused travel agency, and I go quite often, there's still tons of things that I haven't done. And this trip included a lot of them. So first of all, the first thing that was new to me was actually staying at Royal Pacific, which a lot of people do. And it's a very popular hotel, but because everybody stays there and it's on the cheaper end of the 3 premier hotels, I've always just kind of brushed it aside as not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised at how much I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys stayed there?
Yeah, we all have. I think we stayed there for one night back in 2013.
Was it 2013?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed there for one night during a hurricane, so not as fun.
No. Yeah, so you probably didn't get some of the fun amenities that I did.
Yes, because if you think... it's a standing joke on the show because Darren stayed there the same night we did, and that's when he got the cupboard under the stairs room.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my staying here was pure coincidence, and actually because I had no other choice. But I mean, it was a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anywhere on property at all for the dates that I needed to go.
Wow.
Not for any of the rates, not for my travel agent rates, not for pass holder, nothing. So I had to play around a little bit with the dates, and I was able to snag this reservation for 2 nights instead of 4 nights. So I actually did a split stay, 2 nights at Royal Pacific and then 2 nights at Aventura.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, but I needed one of those resorts that gave us the express passes. So
Yes.
that's why I chose to do it this way.
And that's what they bank on, really, isn't it? People wanting, they want those lower end ones like the Aventura, the Sapphire Falls, and Cabana Bay to give people who haven't necessarily got the budget, but still keep them in that bubble, but then want to push people to the 3 more expensive ones because the perks are worth the extra money, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, especially for if you have a larger family. If it's just 2 of you, sometimes it works out okay to stay at one of the lower resorts and just pay for the express passes. But if you have a family of 3 or 4, then it always works out better to stay at one of those 3 premier hotels.
Yeah, because I know they've changed it now. Because when we first, I remember one of the first episodes we did on the podcast was that comparison between staying on site and what they used to do was like a 2-week unlimited express pass, and it was something like $1,000 for a family of 4. And now I think they're like 120 something, I think.
Yeah, they're right around $100 at the low end per person. So it usually works out to stay at one of those premieres for sure. But yeah, I wasn't expecting much from this hotel, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I toured it several times as a travel agent and just really wasn't that impressed by it, after being at Portofino so many times.
How posh is it? I had to slum it at the Royal Pacific, yes.
That did sound a little snotty. But when you do travel agent, they're called FAMs, so education trips, that's where they usually put you up. So, they spoiled me right off the bat.
Yeah, of course, because they want you to be, the hotel we stayed at was amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, it is. But, I would stay at Royal Pacific again in a heartbeat over Portofino. And I never thought I'd hear myself say that.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, the rooms weren't as big. That was a downside, but they were beautiful. They're newly renovated. The most fun thing that I did at the resort was the pool. I'm not usually a huge pool person, but I really loved the pool there. We had a really good time, and surprisingly, the food by the pool was the best food that I have ever gotten, I think, on property anywhere.
Oh, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Wow.
I had the Korean beef sandwich. Oh my gosh. I could have eaten that in just that for the entire 4 days.
Michelle, you're full of bold statements, aren't you?
That's a strong statement there.
Well, you're going to have to try it and see if you think I'm wrong. It was so good. I wasn't expecting much again, but it was so good. And then Maddie and Audrey shared nachos, which I'm sure you've heard are massive.
Yes.
But yummy. They're not just huge, but they're very good. The drinks were good. The service was super fast. The servers were incredibly friendly. On all of the times that we visited the pool, we never had bad service. The drinks were so good. And it was kind of funny, during our very first time there at the pool, we had just gotten there, we checked in, our room was ready early, so we dropped our bags and changed and went to the pool. And my friend Maddie on the drive down had just mentioned how when we go to Mickey's Not So Scary, because that's another little tradition that we do for one night, that she wanted to get one of those ice cream cookies at the Magic Kingdom because she's never gotten one and has always wanted one.
Right.
Well, we're sitting by the pool at Royal Pacific, and our waiter, out of the blue, just walks up and brings her an ice cream cookie and says, "Here, this is on us."
Wow.
We had not said anything about wanting any dessert at all. And it just kind of appeared, and we were like, oh my God, did we just die and go to heaven? Because this is crazy.
Okay, I'm going to be sat down by that pool at some point going, I could really just eat a 3-course meal.
I could really go for a cookie right about now. But no, it was so good, and it was consistently good. It wasn't just a fluke.
Yes.
So I was very, very impressed by that hotel.
I don't think we've eaten in there. Chris, you'll have eaten in there if you were there for a hurricane, did you?
No, they even, for the hurricane, they actually set up this where a banquet hall or something inside the hotel that you would just pay for a flat fee for a buffet thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because they closed off everything else since they were on a hurricane mode or whatever you want to call it.
I'm trying to think, what's the signature restaurant in there, Michelle? Is it the Islands Dining Room?
Yeah, probably.
Is that the one with sushi?
No, that is, oh gosh, what's the name of that one? That's the one that's upstairs in the bar. No, they have like a wok kind of bar type pasta thing that you can get at night. But the breakfast at Allen's Dining Room is out of this world.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think Chop Chop used to be their signature restaurant, but it's closed now.
Yes, it was.
But they also have Jake's, but I didn't go in there.
Yeah.
But we did Choop, choop, is it choop, choop, chop, chop? Whatever.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
It's not the choop chop.
Yeah,
Aha.
it's nothing. I would be perfectly happy just to sit by the pool and get that sandwich again.
Yeah.
Seriously. So anyway, our first impression of first and final, really, the whole time of Royal Pacific was awesome. So I'm perfectly happy making that be our designated hotel for our meetup that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that when we stayed over, one of the things I love about it is that walk it brings you out basically just next to the entrance to Islands of Adventure, and it's a gorgeous walk first thing on a morning.
It is. It's not such a nice walk on the first thing in the morning after Halloween Horror Nights, though.
Maybe not.
I can safely say that because I had to do it. But yeah, speaking of Halloween Horror Nights, so that same night we did Halloween Horror Nights. We were lucky enough to grab those buy one day, get one day free tickets.
All right.
Awesome.
In the beginning, which turned out to be a great deal. So we had 2 days of Halloween Horror Nights, both with Express. So we kind of weren't in a hurry this year. We've always done just one night Halloween Horror Nights, and it's kind of a do or die night with Express Pass. And we're dying literally by the end of the night, wanting to crawl back to our hotel. But this year we kind of decided to take it slow and not kill ourselves and just enjoy some of the things that we usually skip over, such as the food offerings and things like that. So we didn't get there at opening. We didn't do Stay and Scream. We just went through the hotel entrance, which is a great thing to do.
Yeah, Darren sat listening to this now going, oh my God, have I not taught you people anything?
Well, Darren, it's because of you that I always get Express Pass now, even though it triples the price of my trip, but it's a necessity. But the hotel entrance was a very good tip. Not a lot of people that stay on property know about that.
Yeah, we did it from when we stayed at the Hard Rock last time.
Yeah, there was nobody over there. There were crowds at the front, but nobody over there. So that was a perfectly fine thing for us to do. And then we headed straight to Stranger Things. And I kind of knew to do that because I had a couple of weeks before I'm crazy like this and super Halloween Horror Nights obsessed, but I flew down to Orlando just for one night to do Halloween Horror Nights with my friends.
Wow. Who
were going for the first time ever, and I couldn't stand the thought that they were going for the first time ever without me. So I quote
That's
unquote
why you're such a good fit.
Yeah. And flew down there and saw them. So I'd already been one night before, and actually that's where I met Chris.
Yep.
Was that night. We all kind of did a secret producers club meetup and took pictures for Lee and Tracy.
That was so awesome.
We were very jealous.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah.
That was a really fun hour.
It really was. We all kind of just meshed really well, and we hung out in the line for the Mummy like we'd all known each other forever. It was cool.
Awesome.
I love it. It's one of those things that I really love about this show is it's not just, I know it's like the four of us sitting talking crap every week, but there's genuine friendships being made out there because of it and brought people together who, let's face it, we're all in it for the same thing because we have a mutual love of Universal Orlando, and it's good that people who like not even from the same country can meet up and have a laugh and just spend an hour together and really click. It's great. I love it.
We're just one big happy family.
Just geeking out.
Yeah, and recognizing each other's faces. Like that was really weird to me. I'd never done anything like this before. But it was so weird how like people would appear and I knew them. I was like, I've never met you, but I know you. And
And oh look, there's John Hammond. Oh, sorry, Chris.
It was a really cool experience, but I digress. So, again, this wasn't my first night at Halloween Horror Nights, so we did kind of take it a little bit slower. And I did know to do Stranger Things first because that line is insane. So we hit that, and one of Lee's first questions that led to this whole episode was, what were your top 3 houses? So Stranger Things was my favorite, not because it was scary, but just because it was so incredibly immersive. However, I do think it's been a bit of a game changer for the event, because it did, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but it did seem like it brought in a much younger crowd than has been. I mean, there's always been like the straggling kids that shouldn't be there or, get dragged there. But this was a very big presence of young kids.
Yeah. Definitely.
Did you find then it was just kids that you were seeing at Stranger Things, or did you see them throughout the event going into other houses and scare zones and stuff?
No, they were everywhere. They were obviously there for Stranger Things, because they wear the garb and, you knew that was what they were there for, but they were also enjoying other things, quote unquote, enjoying. Sometimes some of them were having a good time. Some of them were very immature and, doing things they shouldn't be doing, as far as messing with the scare actors and pretending to be scared and, just being obnoxious. So there was a good mix. Yeah. So I'm interested to see how this plays out going forward, because they definitely did bring in a different crowd this year.
Yeah, I think I even mentioned it a while back when they announced the Stranger Things house that, I've been going for 15 years now to horror nights. And so I have a lot of friends that don't like horror, right? And they won't even think about going. But I had a bunch of them reach out to me, like asking a bunch of questions once they saw that come out, actually interested in going. So it definitely, like Michelle's saying, it brought in a whole nother crowd. If even, I know some people that would go just to go to that one house and then just kind of hang out and skip other houses if they're that afraid of, haunts or anything like that. So it definitely did what they wanted it to do.
I know Universal have come out and said they haven't intentionally scaled it back as far as the sort of adultness of Halloween Horror Nights, but I've spoken to Darren, and Darren said, I don't care what Universal have said, they have definitely toned it down this year. Now, I don't know whether you two feel that.
I did feel that.
In how, when you say it's toned back, in what way do you mean?
For me, I felt like, although they expanded the event, they did 10 houses this year, and that was a pleasant surprise. The scare zones just weren't scary. They didn't have a whole lot of like actors who were really going out for that scare a lot. It was more about photo ops. And there were a lot of kids around, and I saw a few. I did a lot of just standing around trying to watch, scares. And I saw so many opportunities where a scare actor was going to go for it, and then they saw a kid in the mix, and they backed off and walked away.
See, I don't think they should. At the end of the day, you bring your kid in knowing that they don't recommend that event for that. And if you bring your kid in, then they're fair game as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
We took Jade when she was 11, and we were like, we took her to events over here and got her prepared for what she would expect. And she was fairly hardcore. I think American Werewolf scared the crap out of her a bit.
It does a kid good.
For the most part, she's fine with it. And it's like, if a scare actor went for her, we'd be like, do you know what? That's fair enough. I would never want the actors to shy away from her, because that's what the event is. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want your kid to get exposed to that, then don't take them.
No, well, just same vein. There was a video doing the rounds of somebody in the Killer Clowns scare zone holding their toddler.
I saw that.
And the toddler's like squeezing the noses and having this lovely interaction. But at the end of the day, that toddler should not be there. Their brains are not developed enough to deal with this stuff.
To differentiate real from fake,
So there were so many strollers. It was unreal.
It drives me
that's ridiculous.
It's irresponsible parenting.
I want to go.
The houses. So, I was going to say, even the houses kind of got scaled back too, I think. Because, for me, one of my top ones was Slaughter Cinema, which it's a joke house, right? It kind of is a parody on all these old movies. I personally didn't find it scary. Now, I don't really find a lot of things scary when I go to these haunts. I do it more for the fun, if that makes sense. But I could see how somebody else who would typically be scared of like houses not really be as scared in this house, and just a couple of the houses, they kind of scales back from like what Dead Exposure is, right? Dead Exposure, again, was the scariest one there. But
Yes.
that was like the scariest, and that was like the one.
Right.
You know, aside from
Yes.
that, there wasn't a lot of that kind of, you know, really, you know, scary things going on in the other houses. So if you're asking if you scale back on some of the scariness, they did. That doesn't take away from some of the coolness on the other stuff, but
Yeah.
it depends what person's going there for. If you're going in there to look for 10 houses of dead exposure, you're not going to find it.
No.
Yeah.
No, there really was. I mean, I get jump scared really easily. But as far as like gore or grotesqueness or any kind
That's
of
the
like
word, yes.
genuine that like, oh my gosh, that person's like being sawed in half and there's blood squirting. There was nothing like that.
Really?
Wow.
Really.
And even that even goes into like the scare zones, right? Because I remember, like, you know, I think back years ago, like in one of the scare zones, they would literally have like somebody just getting sawed in half right there. And there was another one with a live person with actual like rats inside of there. And so it had like more of that like fear factor inside of this, as opposed to this year where, like Michelle mentioned, I mean, the scare zones for a normal person, maybe, you know, they get a little thrill out of it, but anybody who's been to any haunts or anything like that wouldn't really get scared. More of a photo op than anything else.
What I equated to was kind of looking at one of the scenes in Body Collectors from 25, the spine rip scene, which I
that was
thought
awesome.
was fantastic. So I'm assuming there was nothing like that in any of them.
No.
Really?
No.
See, that's sad.
That's concerning.
Because I loved that scene in that.
Maybe an option is, if people are going to start bringing the kids in, instead of scaling it back, let's have houses that have age limits on them.
I can't see it's because Universal is, because it is what it is. It's a theme park. I don't think you'll ever see them put any sort of actual restriction on an age thing.
I know, but I'm sorry, I'm an adult. I've gone through all the stuff of having to do with that as a kid. I've earned this. And because somebody else wants to bring their kids in, why should I have to pay that price?
Yeah, and that's really what it was this year. It really was scaled back a lot. Not saying that they didn't put a lot of energy and money into what they did, but it definitely wasn't as scary or grotesque as it could have been or has been in years past. The only risque thing that I saw the entire night was walking into Poltergeist, which, nice segue, is my second favorite house.
Awesome.
Was when you first walk into it, you know, the voiceover says, "You son of a bitch, you know, you didn't move, you just moved the cat, or you just moved the headstones, not the bodies." That was the only risque thing, was them saying that word.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the only time where I felt like, oh man, there's a kid right up there, and they just said that. But there were no other moments where I felt like the kid shouldn't have heard or seen what was just happening.
And I mean, going back to Tracy, what you said about putting an age limit on there. I mean, if we're going to be real, does Universal really need to, advertise more to bring people in? I mean, it's already at capacity. So
well,
I personally don't think they should be targeting like younger generation of kids.
No. I mean, well, there should be. It's a strict age limit, and no kid under that age is allowed in. But
yes,
even
that
for,
would be good.
But even for, because some adults can't handle it, but some of us really can. So have some that are like that higher intensity, but have a warning so people can make that decision.
It's almost like a classification of house.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like a hot sauce. How hot is this sauce?
Yeah, kind of, we have one over here. I think it's Scare Kingdom, if I remember rightly, and they have it's an upcharge house within it, and it's strictly over 18s only.
See that? I like that.
Doesn't Busch Gardens do that too? Don't they have one that's like 18 only or something this year?
No, yeah.
I don't know.
I think they did.
I think there was.
You see, that's the thing as well. So the number of people, what percentage of that were basically underage kids that were under the advised age? You know.
In fairness, we took one.
Yeah, but we're reckless. But we knew our child. We didn't take a toddler in a stroller.
No, that's true.
I really disagree with that. You know your own kids.
Well,
you've got to be sensible.
Parents just like, I'm not missing out on it, therefore I'm going to take my kid, and I don't give a crap whether it traumatizes you for the rest of your life.
Because when you choose to be a parent, you're choosing to change your life for the next 18 or so years to accommodate that child, to raise them. And if you can't live without these things, or you can't find alternate, I can't think what's the word, arrangements.
You can't find a Maddie to take with you?
Basically, that's what Tracy was getting at. She just didn't want to say it.
I couldn't think of, if you can't make other arrangements, then you have to just think, do you know what? As the responsible parent, I'm going to have to sit this one out this year.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. There's no way I would take Krissa in there with me. That just wouldn't be nice, and it wouldn't be fun for me. I don't know.
No.
I don't know how it's fun for these parents when they're having to protect their child the whole time.
No.
And
That wouldn't be fun for me.
I'm pretty sure there'll be some parents that get angry that their child was scared.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Probably. And then they complain on the pass holder page.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
Well, regardless,
yes,
it was still a good time.
It is. We've said before, sorry again, Michelle, but it is, like I've said before, Halloween Horror Nights is Halloween Horror Nights, regardless of whether it's scaled back or not. It's still a fantastic event.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
When you look at the attention to detail of the sets, it's just...
There's nothing
beautiful.
else like it.
No.
Incredible. And speaking of that, that's what I was about to say about Poltergeist. It was amazing. Like the entry going into the house where you're walking in through the pool. It really felt like you were walking into a dugout pool, and it smelled like dirt and mud, and it was raining. It was like physically raining on you.
Whoa.
There were coffins, it looked like real coffins hanging out of the dirt around you. It just felt so incredibly real. And inside, the wind, when they did that special Q&A session, they were talking about how they're using different elements to make you feel certain things and utilizing air movement. That spot on the way they described it, because there was so much wind in that house. I was actually cold.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there were many of us walking through like shivering because there was so much wind and air movement. But the way that they accomplished that house was incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then my third favorite was Scary Tales, right next door to Poltergeist. And that was just a cool concept. They had the Wicked Witch flying at you when you first walk in, and some of the storylines like Rapunzel with her hair ripping off of her skull.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then like walking through Hansel and Gretel and you smell the gingerbread, or Humpty Dumpty and you smell the gross eggs. And I just love when they utilize all of our senses in a house. So that one was really cool. The only downfall to any of my nights was that it seemed like there were a lot of missing scare actors. Did you feel that, Chris?
At times, yeah. And even in the houses, and I think I mentioned it before when we talked about it, I had to go through it like a second time to even get some of these scares. Like you could actively see whether it was a shift change or something, but it did feel a little bit, again, and when we went, it was very early in the season. So I don't want to blame it on that, but that could be part of it. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was a little bit empty at certain times.
Yeah. And, and me having gone through 3 times, I don't know how many you did, Chris, but I knew where there should have been actors and there weren't. So I was kind of anticipating them. And then like even one night there, Rapunzel wasn't even in there.
Yes, that happened to me one of the times as well.
Yeah. So when we walked out, Audrey, my 18-year-old was like, I don't understand what just happened, because there were so many scare actors missing that it didn't make sense.
It's got to be a shift change at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
To make that a bit more seamless, though. You shouldn't notice something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there were many times where I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really cool coming up. And then nothing happened. And I was
surely you'd just have the 2 actors there at the same time.
It's weird. This has always been the thing with Halloween Horror Nights. It's one of those. You should be able to go through first run, first night, and get the same experience as someone who goes through 1 o'clock in the morning, right in the middle of the event, as someone who goes through at 2 o'clock in the morning on the last night of the event. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Yeah. Well, I did notice, and it wasn't just once, I did notice kind of throughout the event that there seemed to be a lack, maybe a shortage of scare actors this year for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it was just coincidence.
Now, is it a case of they only got the same amount of actors that they normally had and had to spread them across 10 houses?
quite possible.
Well, they didn't hire
Good
enough.
point.
Because we know people who've done it before and didn't get hired this year.
That's
It's
very
been a
true.
big
There's
shock.
a friend of ours who works it every year without fail.
Yep.
Usually gets some pretty high accolades,
Yep.
and he didn't work it this year,
Yep.
and not through his own fault.
Well, they should have, because they needed more scare
Yeah.
actors. There were a lot of missed opportunities for sure
Sad to
for
hear.
scares. Yep. And then we did Academy of Villains, which was okay. I probably wouldn't do it again, but I did miss the adultness, the inappropriateness of Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So it wasn't a good replacement of that show for me by any means. And I hope that they either revamp the show for next year, make it something better, or do something different altogether, because I just don't think it was a proper replacement.
Bring
And again,
back Bill and
that
Ted.
goes back to the toning it down thing to me.
And you think, no one, I have not seen anybody mention that. I wonder if that's where it's come from.
What, turning it back?
Yeah, that they've got rid of Bill and Ted. Everyone's like, oh, is it because they're making a new film, or they just want it? Potentially that could be the thought process behind it, is if we're wanting to make it slightly more family friendly, let's put
Yep.
let's put Academy of Villains in there and get rid of that adult, because let's be honest, Bill and Ted is an adult show.
Entirely.
Yeah.
But it's
Absolutely.
an adult Is it the
I
whole?
wonder, I've
It's an
never
adult
heard.
event.
I've never heard anybody.
Daytime's for kids, nighttime's for adults. It's a rule.
And I look forward to it. I'm with my kids all dang day.
Yeah, you get shut
I look forward to going and doing something that is for me. There's not very many things out there that are just for me now, you know, as a mom. And so it's fun for me to leave my kids behind for a day, for a few hours, and just be an adult. And it's okay to listen to raunchy jokes and look at gross things and not be judged for it. So
not have to mind your P's and Q's. Although you probably do, because you're looking around and seeing other people have taken the kids in.
We've said it before. I mean, if you need to tone it down, I mean, there's a 20-minute ride down the street. You can go to another Halloween event that is all for kids. And all. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do. I do my Halloween Horror Nights, and then on a different night, I take my little one to Mickey's Not So Scary.
There you go. And that's how it should be. I mean, if you're going to complain about the other stuff, then just don't go.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. But capping off that night, one of the best things that has ever happened to me ever at Universal, period, was on the water taxi ride back to Royal Pacific. And this story it's just exactly why I love Universal so very much, and why I tend to favor it over Disney. Although I love Disney, don't fire us as an agency, Disney, for saying that. But so on the way back on the water taxi, we're all exhausted. It's 1:00 in the morning. The boat is full, but everybody's silent because we're all dead. And so we're all riding along in the dark, and we have a young captain. He's probably in his 20s, and the music's kind of lightly playing in the background, and it's Livin' on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. So everybody's kind of nodding their heads, and then when the chorus comes on, everybody just randomly starts singing.
Awesome.
And so the captain got in on it, and he started flashing the lights along with the beat.
Oh, that's so good.
The whole boat was just all of a sudden alive and amped up, and we're pumping our fists and acting like stupid kids from the 80s. And then so every time the chorus comes on, this happens, and we just get more and more pumped up. So we get to the lagoon where Royal Pacific is, and the music changes to that song, Don't Rock the Boat. I'm not gonna sing on the air.
Aww.
But you know that song, what I'm talking about. So that song comes on, and instead of going to the dock to let us out, he starts doing circles in the lagoon.
Awesome.
and making the boat rock. It's we're rocking and we're all cracking up and out there in the middle of the lagoon having our own little private party. And the guys, the security guards back on the deck, were looking at us what? They were raising their hands up what are you doing? But we get back, and so we're all high-fiving the captain and high-fiving the security guards, and it was just a great end.
That's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Day. And that would have never happened anywhere else.
No.
I can imagine the people back at I guess where they watch all the ships, they see the GPS going in circles. They're we need to send somebody out here to help.
As long as he didn't get in any trouble for
Is that
it.
Amity 6? Amity 6 is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was amazing, and I meant to get his name, but it was 1:00 in the morning, and I wasn't thinking about getting his name. So, but it was a really, really fun moment that I will never forget.
I
Yeah,
love stuff like that.
Yeah.
yep, super cool.
Well, Michelle, before we move on, would you like to plug your travel agency a little bit?
Sure.
As we usually do
So-
halfway through the show.
Sounds great. Well, as I mentioned before, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company, our services are completely free to you. We don't just do Universal. We can do Disney. We can actually do anything, to be honest with you.
Anything?
I don't know if anybody knows that. We can do anything.
Can you
We
book
are
flights
able
from
to
the
book-
UK?
Yes, we can.
Can you?
We can
All
book.
right.
Yep. We can book absolutely anything. And it's super easy. We have a website. Just go to mouseandmuggle.com and we have a link there for a free quote request. You just fill it out. That email comes straight to me, and either Robin or I will handle it. Or if we're a little bombarded, then we'll send you off to one of our expert agents. But we'll take good care of you. So reach out to us at any time.
I am. I'm just doing it now.
Awesome. You're doing it now.
Are you serious?
Guys.
I wasn't going to, but I am now.
Oh, you sillies. You know what? The surprising is the people that don't contact us the most are our friends and family who, for some reason, they just don't think of us, which is very odd.
Yeah.
Very, because they're the people you want to be leaning on.
Unless they feel a bit,
Right?
unless they feel like they're being a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, good thing you don't have Leah's family, because if not, he'd be talking to you all the time.
He already does.
I was going to say, I think that ship's sailed.
Michelle always
Buddy.
says, I don't always check my messages. I think she does. She just ignores me.
Yeah. Don't worry,
No,
Michelle.
I
You're not
really
alone.
don't. I really don't.
I'm only
She
putting
has a
it there.
special folder where your emails go.
Yeah.
Is that the same one that you have on yours and Tracy has on hers and Darren has on his?
Yeah.
That's
Lee's
the
got
one.
Lee's got his own special ringtone, so I know.
Yeah.
So
All right.
moving on past Halloween Horror Nights, Michelle.
Yes,
You
moving
said
on
you
past that.
experienced lots of new things. Anything in the parks specifically? Did you try anywhere new to eat?
Anywhere new to eat? Well, this wasn't technically new because I had it before, but I'd like to mention, just an honorable mention, that at Island's Dining Room, their breakfast is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The Hawaiian pancakes are the most incredible breakfast food I've ever had in my life.
Hawaiian pancakes.
Continue.
Please describe these Hawaiian pancakes because
Oh,
Yes,
my
Michelle.
gosh.
Michelle, for everyone listening, let's describe this breakfast.
Very
Okay.
slowly.
So the Hawaiian pancakes they're really sweet, but not overly sweet. They've got macadamia nuts
yes,
cooked
please.
into the batter. Yeah.
They're
Into
my
the batter.
favorite nuts.
Oh, yeah. And then instead of a traditional syrup, they make their own kind of syrup out of caramel, and they put macadamia nuts in that as well, and pineapples. And they drizzle it over the top for you, and it's sprinkled with coconut.
Oh.
You can ask without the coconut, but
that's
I
okay then.
personally love it.
Tracy, I'll take the coconut from you.
You
Don't
You
worry.
have-
won't.
you
It's
can-
mine.
Oh.
Oh my
Vile
gosh.
stuff.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it's a massive serving. This is how good they are. So Maddie, the girl that went with me, she's also my personal trainer. So she has her own personal training business on the side, and we work out several times a week together. So she's over there eating her fancy, healthy little omelet. And I'm eating my Hawaiian pancakes shamelessly. And I'm like, you got to try a bite of this. And she tries a bite, and she eats the rest of my pancakes. So
They are some good pancakes then.
they're so good. Yeah. So
Right.
we have to try that during our trip for
Oh,
sure.
without a
Mental
doubt. Because
note.
pancakes aren't really a thing over here. So when
No,
we
I
come
should
over
make
there, it's
them
like we
more
try and overdose on them.
Yeah.
You'll never have another pancake like this ever again. So moving on from breakfast, after breakfast, things went a little downhill. We went into the parks, and so many things were broken down. I was so sad.
Really?
Yeah, it was like everything we tried to do was broken down. These are things that we didn't do the entire time we were there. Transformers, Men in Black, Forbidden Journey broke down while we were in line for it. Kong, we didn't do, it wasn't broken down, just the Express Pass line was super long. And Hulk, when they went to get on the Hulk, it was stopped on the track. So
Oh.
yeah, we had a really unsuccessful day in the parks, to be honest with you. And to carry on from that, one of the only rides we did get to ride was Fast and Furious.
Oh, Michelle.
Great song.
Everybody, strap yourselves in.
Oh, dear.
Someone messaged us today, right, just out of curiosity, literally before we started recording, and said, I've just been to Halloween Horror Nights 28, really enjoyed it. It's probably the best year we've been out, the 8 years we've been going. Oh, and by the way, Fast and Furious Supercharged was an absolute show.
Yes, it was
He was being nice.
embarrassingly bad.
Wow.
Like, I'm embarrassed for Universal on this one. I don't even know why or who thought this was even a good idea.
100% agree. Well, I can't wait for you guys to ride it so you can tell
I
us what you
can't
think.
wait.
I can't
It's
wait.
literally the only ride I came off of. Everybody was dead silent, and one of the kids goes, "What was that?"
Yeah, exactly. Even my 7-year-old was like, that's it. I was like, yep, that was it.
Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
It was crazy. So we went through the express line. It wasn't really an express line. Not at all. It just dumped us out into the regular line with everybody else, and we waited forever. The queue was kind of cool looking if you like the smell of tires.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, the pre-shows were just cheesy. And the storyline was trashy even. I mean, I know it's Fast and the Furious and that movie's a little trashy at parts anyway, but there were so many things they could have done with it instead of having us sit in this car and watch like these girls in skimpy dresses dance all over these guys.
Sorry, and the problem with that is what?
It's 2018.
We're not allowed to do that anymore. I'm sure lap dancing clubs are still a thing nowadays.
It just looked like, why would that be a part of a ride?
Yeah.
You know, like we're supposed to be moving, there's supposed to be action going, and we're literally stopped watching a dance party going on to the right of us. And then when we start moving, half of the ride, we're just riding in a tunnel. Like there's nothing going on around you. And then the only action part, the technology was off. I don't know what it was. Like the scale of things was weird.
I've heard this.
Yeah, then it was just
doesn't work as well as Kong.
No, and then it was just done. Like all of a sudden it was just done.
Yeah,
And
that's what Kenneth said. It literally just, there's like no end to it. It's just like, now get off.
Yeah.
So like they didn't know how to finish it.
Yeah.
So they just stopped.
Because in Hollywood, they didn't need to.
Yeah, that's true.
It just made no sense. From start to finish, it made no sense. They spent more money on the queue, I think, than they did on the actual ride. It was just sad. Super, super sad. I will never go on it again.
Wow.
Even if there's no wait.
And that's sad to say there's a ride there that you literally wouldn't go on again ever. I mean, I can't say that about anything else.
And to add to that, it's a brand new ride.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So we're stuck with it for at least 5 years.
At least.
Yeah.
I would say even longer because look at what they took away to put it in. It's a huge part of that park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
It was awful.
Wow.
So moving on from that big mistake, Aventura. Yeah, so we checked in. We did 2 nights at Aventura, as I mentioned before. And I was, I had an open mind about it. We weren't doing any more days in the Universal parks, so I didn't care about the express passes. And I was hoping, I was rooting for it. And we get there, and it's a pretty hotel. It's clean. It's sleek. The technology's nice. But I waited forever to check in. And when I did check in, finally, my keys wouldn't work in the elevators. So I had to go back and do it again. The room was nice. It was clean. I mean, it's definitely a step up over any of the other hotels on, off property, but still, like if I could stay at Royal Pacific instead, I would pay the extra $100 and do so. Yeah. The iPad was cool, but it's a novelty that's going to wear out at some point. The only good thing about it was the rooftop bar. That was really cool. I had a strawberry daiquiri that was super, super good. It was all made from fresh ingredients and like fresh strawberries that they ground up right in front of me.
That's good to know. I do like a strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, it was really good, and the views were beautiful. Like I could go up there, not even staying at the hotel. I would be happy just to go up there and hang out with friends.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you have to be staying at the hotel to use
Of
that?
course
No.
you don't.
No.
No, of course you don't.
Okay.
No.
No, and I will do that again, but I don't
Yeah.
think I'll ever stay there again. We did
Michelle, did you eat downstairs, by the way, at Aventura?
only breakfast. And the breakfast was good. It tasted good, but I don't know that it was worth the amount of money that I paid.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have to wait a long time for it. There were a lot of people down there when I was there, and I wasn't there super early or anything, but it was good, but pricey. Everything in there is pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know I'd
I've
spoke
heard
to you
that.
about it after Darren's review, and you were quite nervous because I know you were staying there for this one, and it's difficult to go in with a complete open mind when you've already heard someone else's experience.
Well, I'm a little bit ornery that way. I like to prove people wrong. So I was all ready to like go in and have a totally different experience than Darren.
Yeah.
Just to say, no, that was just a bad week. It was, jitters from starting up, but no, it really wasn't that great.
Mm.
The pool was so incredibly boring. I mean, it was tiny. It was tiny, and it was crowded. Like there were lounge chairs everywhere where you couldn't even barely walk because the pool area was just so small.
Hmm.
I think it's just the fact that they've tried to shoehorn it in such a small area, haven't they? Really?
Yeah.
You can understand. You can understand why they're trying. They've got a plot of land, and they've already announced their ambition to get as many hotel rooms on property as they possibly can. And they are so efficient at using the space that they have. I know they have to because they haven't got the blessing of space like Disney have, and they are good at using it. But sometimes maybe you should look at things a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame because it's such a striking building. And
Oh,
it's not living up to that promise, that potential.
It's not. They should have put the pool on the rooftop and put the bar down there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it was just tiny. The positives, other than what I've already mentioned about it was nice. It was clean. It was, the technology was cool. The views were pretty. The floor to ceiling windows, gorgeous touch. And it was a very short walk to Volcano Bay because we did spend half a day at Volcano Bay.
Right.
And it was a very quick walk. You just walk through the pool area and you're there. One of the team members there told us to pick up towels from the pool area and take them with us, which was cool.
Yep.
Handy.
Because if you don't at Volcano Bay, you have to pay for them.
Yeah.
So that was nice, but I honestly would never stay there again. And the biggest reason for me actually was the transportation, or the lack thereof, I should say. Because we had a terrible experience on our last night there after Volcano Bay. We wanted to go into City Walk for dinner to go to Antojitos. And so, yeah, we love it. So we thought, it's no big deal. City Walk won't be crowded. It's a Halloween Horror Nights night. Most people will be in the event. So we had the brilliant idea to hop over to Sapphire Falls and ride the water taxi over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody and their mama is doing that now.
Okay.
So we've got Aventura, you've got Sapphire Falls, and you got Cabana Bay. All of those people trying to use the water taxi at Sapphire Falls now.
Wow. And they're small capacity taxis.
Yeah, they're not massive, are they?
Yeah, they only had one boat running to that dock too.
Ouch.
So we waited. Yeah.
I was going to say, to be honest, I would not be surprised if going forward at some point they check room keys to go out of Sapphire.
They need to.
Because you're right. People from Cabana Bay go over there. I've done it myself, so I'm not, saying anything bad about those people, but they've done it. But now you have to do a walk to get over there. So sometimes it's like, hey, it's easier just to take the bus in, right? Mm-hmm. But now you have the Aventura Hotel literally next door.
Yeah, you walk through the little roundabout, and you're at Sapphire.
It's that close. It just feels like it's part of Aventura or Sapphire Falls.
Mm.
Yeah. But we waited in line to get on that boat for 30 minutes, and we thought we were about to get on, and he cut the rope off at us. And I was like, no. And this was already the second round of boats, that had come. And so the driver said, well, it's faster just to go. There's a bus right there. Just go get on the bus. And we were like, okay, fine. So we walked over to where he pointed, which happened to be the backside of Sapphire.
Oh, no, wrong right.
Yeah, it happened to be the backs. But there was a bus up there, and we go up to that bus, and he's like, oh no, this bus only goes to Volcano Bay.
Oh my God.
You have to go to the front. So we walk all the way through the convention center, all the way back to the front of and by this time my children are angry, angry. We get to the front. We're told to wait for a bus there. We wait for 15 minutes. 2 buses come by. Neither one of them is for City Walk.
Oh.
So I go over to the valet, to the head guy, and what's up? What's happening here? He said, no, there aren't any buses that go to City Walk. I was like, what?
From Aventura?
From that, at this point, I'm at Sapphire.
Falls, yeah.
Mm.
The wait time to get on the bus at Aventura was crazy long. So that's why I went over to Sapphire. Well, so I was like, okay, can you give me a town car? Because I've stayed at these places many times, and I've done this where they've had town cars there for hire. No, we don't do that. I was like, what?
Really?
Since when do you not do that? Like, I'll pay for it, but no, they wouldn't do it. So I ended up paying for a Lyft. Like, I used my Lyft app and got a Lyft, paid almost $10 to go 3 miles down the road. And it literally took us almost 20 minutes because of all of the Halloween Horror Nights traffic.
Wow.
It was insane.
Oh, we need to get that sorted out.
Yeah. So as a travel agent, I will, I'll be very cautious about what clients I put in there and when. Yeah. Because I don't think that it's a bad place to be.
No.
But it's definitely not somewhere you want to be if you have big plans during a busy time of the year.
Yeah.
No, I think for Halloween Horror Nights, if you just from my personal experience, I would look at Hard Rock every time.
Yes.
But that water taxi pilot though should never have sent you for a bus.
Well, they should.
They should have this information in their head.
Yeah,
they should know where the buses go.
But they should know how busy it is. It's a Halloween Horror Nights night. You know it's going to be busy. Put more boats on. They must have more water taxis.
Yes, they do. They might not have had the drivers to staff them, but regardless, I was really disappointed in the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Amongst all of the team members that I experienced that evening. But you know what? And it made me question things because, again, I don't want to sound like a snob, but I don't usually stay at these resorts. I'm usually at Portofino or Hard Rock, over there where it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So I was curious, is this a regular thing for people that stay at these resorts? I don't know, but it really changed my opinion on how I will recommend these places, and I have to be very strategic about my placement of clients in these hotels for sure. And that's why when earlier you were saying Cabana Bay during Halloween Horror Nights next year, I was like, eh.
Well, it's funny now you say that there. It is the one thing that's kind of put me off wanting to stay at Cabana Bay because it is like when we've stayed on site, we've stayed at the Royal Pacific and we've stayed at the Hard Rock, and it's like a 5-10 minute walk to the parks from the Hard Rock, maybe 10 or 15, maybe not even that, 10.
From the Hard Rock?
Yeah, but 5 minutes from the Hard Rock and then 10 minutes from the Royal Pacific.
Yeah.
Whereas I know you can walk from Cabana Bay over that overpass thing, it's about 15, 20 minutes, or you're bussing it, and it's the one thing that even when we stayed at Disney on site, we still had our own car and we never used Disney transportation. We still used our old car because I've just heard all the horror stories of trying to get on those buses, and it really would stress me out more than anything.
Well, I remember coming out of Hollywood Studios, and we had to walk past all the buses
crazy.
to get to the car park, and the lines they'd actually put switchback barriers up, and there was one of the bus drivers, or whether it was bus driver or just somebody who was helping with the buses, was basically saying to these people, from this point you are looking at a 3-hour wait for a bus after you've spent all day in a park. And people with kids.
It's like trying to get on the monorail last thing on the night at Magic Kingdom. It's an absolute nightmare.
See, I can comment on the Cabana Bay stuff because I've stayed there a couple times, a handful of times, and I will say that they have their bus game down packed, at least every time I've stayed. So I've never had an issue. Actually taking the bus in is very quick for us. There's usually never a wait. And we've gone, throughout the different times and coming back from City Walk. Again, we usually stay there till late. And we don't really have that much of an issue coming back. Now that I'm talking about just Cabana Bay into City Walk and back. We've done, like I said, I've ridden in on the Sapphire boat into the park, and that's usually we'll go to Strongwater. I love going to that place, and then we'll just ride the boat into the park. With Aventura in there now, obviously that's going to change a lot of dynamics of everything there. And we even saw it because we stayed at Sapphire during this past Halloween Horror Nights stay, and we try to make it a point to try to leave earlier because it was at least a 2 to 3 boat wait, sometimes more, to get over into the parks. The line would go all the way out because they do the security check right in there, and then they'll let a line of about 2 boats in there. So we even noticed it because we've also stayed at Sapphire years ago for Horror Nights, and the Aventura being there definitely changed a lot of those dynamics.
And that's it as well. It could be it's a first year that they've had Halloween Horror Nights while Aventura's been open, so it's a learning curve for them as well. They've been
in this game long enough to be able to preempt.
But you throw in a whole hotel in there, and it's all right being able to say, "Look, this is what we need to do."
Sorry. But no, you throw in a whole hotel.
Oh, you're so negative.
I'm
not
on being negative. You throw in a whole hotel of people. What you expect them just to stay in that hotel, not want to travel about?
They might not all want to go to Halloween Horror Nights.
95% of them will want to be out of the hotel, and either in the park or at City Walk.
Well, 95% of them wanted to do just that on the night that I was there, and it was pure hell.
They'll definitely have to bump up the boats or something, especially when they open up these new resorts.
It's bigger boats.
I stayed at
so many Jaws references.
I stayed at Sapphire for 2 nights last year, and it was fine. I didn't have any issues with transportation. So this completely took me off guard. So I feel the same as Tracy. Like they know better. You're bringing in all these hotels, and now with Endless Summer and whatever the other one is coming in, they're bringing in all these people, but where are you going to put them? Yep. Like you still only have the same water, the same 2 theme parks. You still have the same transportation infrastructure. So if you're bringing in all of these people, you need to be prepared to transport them and entertain them without sacrificing anything that you've built so hard to make to obtain. They've got this great reputation going for them now, and I fear that it's going to decline if they don't make some changes as well.
Trying to grow maybe a little too quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're bringing in all these people. They need to be able to accommodate them and not just give them a place to sleep. They need to. Yeah. They need to think about these things.
That's what happens when you have butterbeer money.
20 million of them, or whatever it was. Anyway, moving on. We're getting rapidly towards the end, Michelle.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much. I mean, there are other things I could mention, but I think that was the gist of the new things that I wanted to touch on.
As we've been quite negative for the last 20 minutes, Michelle, would you like to end on something positive?
Something positive. Well, it was an amazing trip. And one thing I do want to say is, because I've had a lot of people ask me questions about Halloween Horror Nights and, why do you love it so much? Or I'm scared of these kinds of things. Why should I go? My answer to all this is that regardless of any of the negative things that we just said, it's an amazing event. If properly planned by experts, wink, wink. It's an amazing time, and don't be scared to go. There's lots of things that you can do to try to avoid the biggest scary things that the event offers. But as we mentioned, it's not all about the scaring. There's so much more to it. So go have a good time, have fun with the scare actors. There was one time in a house that my daughter was walking through. I think it was Slaughter Cinema, and she's being all brave and, thinking everything's funny, and a scare actor really got her good. And instead of being mad about it or upset or honestly afraid, she shook her head. Yeah, like, good job. And she actually verbally said that. Good job. You got me. And she high-fived him.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he high-fived her back, and that's part of the thing that we love about the event is it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's all good and fun. And it's all about your attitude. So don't be afraid of it. Give it a try.
Because that interaction is great for you, but it's also great for those scare actors. Because when you think they're literally doing the same thing for 4 or 5 hours a night, so to get that little interaction with guests is going to make their night.
It's also a validation
better.
that they're getting it right.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not an easy job.
No.
It can't be.
No. I don't think I could do it.
It looks really monotonous at times, but it's fun for us. And so it's good for us to have a good attitude about it and let them know that we are having a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap us up. Michelle, have we got any details you want to give anybody about anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, So there's Michelle's trip. I cannot wait to get back out next year. It's killing me just watching, especially for the Halloween Horror Nights this year, watching everybody else's posts, not ours.
Yeah. And the Weekender.
Yes. Those details.
That's what I was hinting at.
I'm a blonde naturally, so that went right over my head.
So the Maldives they tag team that one.
We have hinted at it quite a lot through the last hour and a little bit last week as well. It's still early doors,
Yeah.
Michelle, we've talked about it quite a lot, but it's still early doors. But
it's in the early planning stages, but it's a go. I mean, it's going to happen. We'll release more and more details throughout the year as we have them pinned down. But just a little gist, we're going to have a really fun weekend planned with our friends from the Universal Orlando podcast and Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. We're teaming up to make a fun weekend for everybody. It's going to be the first weekend in October.
Yes.
I think we're going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Was that the plan?
I think it was kind of Friday night, full day Saturday, and then most of Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I want to plan something for us on Sunday night.
Yeah. But also some people will be leaving on the Sunday, won't they?
Yeah.
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 For
So
sure.
we thought maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out.
He's saying we. I have no
Details
idea
to
what he's going
come.
to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get it all nailed down, but I'm going to put together a group rate for us all through Universal. So we'll get some good rates, hopefully on Royal Pacific, and that can be our host hotel for some of our events. And it's not just going to be, us meeting up and going and playing in the parks. We're going to have some fun events scheduled in a separately ticketed event where we can do maybe Q&As or maybe tour Port of Entry with Tracy.
Yes, I am going to do one or maybe two, just me doing a little tour. Maybe me by myself. But
I'll go with you.
Just to walk around and chat about the two areas that I love the most.
One of the things we always do when we do our little meets is I want to do a group ride on Men in Black.
Oh, that's becoming a tradition
Yes.
now.
We usually have a prize for the winners and stuff, but we have to... Anyway.
Well,
Yes.
and we're not just going to have fun in the parks.
No.
Hopefully we're going to have some cool things at the resorts or maybe Bar 17 Bistro or Strong Tavern or maybe a special meal planned.
Chris is already pushing towards Strongwater Tavern.
All right. Well,
I am seconding that. Says I am part pirate.
Chris's Q&A will be at Strong Tavern then, evidently.
Meet me at the bar, buy me a drink, and I'll say anything.
Oh, really? Lee, can I have some money, please?
Alexa, did you just hear that?
Uh-oh. All right.
I'll make sure she doesn't hear this episode.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fun weekend.
Yes.
So stay tuned. We'll, of course, be advertising the crap out of this everywhere. So don't think you're going to miss out on it by any means.
I know Tracy and I have discussed sort of setting up a Facebook page.
Yeah.
For the event, just for register interest and put updates and stuff on there as of when we know. But obviously, we'll talk about it on the show a lot more when we've got more details.
Yep, and I know that our little mini podcast meetup that we did at Halloween Horror Nights back in September. Yeah, back in September that was. Everybody was super excited about this thought. So there were 20 of us or 15 of us there? 15. I don't remember how many of us were there, but everybody was super excited about it. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, the first time we mentioned it, I know Holly turned around to Rich and just went, I don't care, we're going.
Yeah.
I don't care when it is.
Yeah. It's happening.
It's going to be bizarre.
And if that was an indicator of how much fun we're going to have, then it's going to be a blast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's not
For
going to
sure.
be because me and Lee are there.
Oh.
We'll find out.
Don't forget,
Wild card.
I drink now. It could
Oh,
go
good
very
grief.
badly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much the team members are going to like us because, I mean, just us trying to get on the mummy all together. Party of 16. That was.
We've done Men in Black with 32 before.
Yeah. And the poor guy was training.
Yeah, it was his first day
Oh,
on the
no.
job.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you request one cart?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on each other's shoulders.
Let's play Tetris.
Cool. Anyway, right. That is all we know at the moment.
Yeah.
As I say, there'll be much more to come on. I'm so excited about it. But cool. So for Michelle's trip report, this has been, what are we on, episode 326?
That's right.
So for Tracy and Chris and myself, and of course, the lovely Michelle, we will see you back here next week.
Cut, print. That's a wrap for another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.